Okay, welcome back to another post-hunter video. We are in Old Town, Fredrikstad, which is apparently one of Europe's most well-preserved fortress cities. We're going post-hunting, obviously. Got my girlfriend, Luna, guest entries, and we are just going to walk around, pick some posts, try to find some history around the different buildings, and it's going to be really good, I think. And this is actually one of my favorite places in all of Norway, to be honest. And it's a very popular tourist attraction as well, so there's going to be, maybe we see a lot of people here today. It's a holiday, so maybe not, but we're going to find out. Okay, so before we actually go into the old town, you have to take some posts on the outside area. This is a sporting area or of some sort. It's like a big hall where people play handball and football, and there's a swimming hall inside, and there's also a swimming hall on the outside around the area we're walking here. So this is the outside swimming area. You got like a tower with 5, 7.5, and 10 meters that you can jump from. And there's a big grass field where people can chill in the sun. A volleyball area. Used to be really cool in the summer when I was a kid to hang out here. And here we have the first green post of the day. In the background you can see the fortress. Last year there was posts on top of the fortress here, but now they focused on putting most of them inside the actual old city area. So that's also a little bit more exciting to see, I think. Okay, this is the second post of the day, right next to the fortress. Fortress is up here. We're not going up there today, but we're going down to the old town. There's one more post outside, and I think the rest of them is inside. The fortress city is actually, it has a star-shaped river kind of around it, so you have to go over a bridge to get in. And if you actually look at the front side picture on my profile, all right, this is the third one, and the last one outside the old town. Might be one more, but we're heading in there now. While walking, we just saw these really old but well-preserved houses. They look really nice, I think. And I think there's one more before we go into the city. There was a few more than I thought. Flying right next to post number 5. We're gonna follow the river into the old town. Kind of regret not going the other way, the main way into the city. You can see these kind of walls on the side, and this goes around the entire city in itself. And we got the post down here. Wall of the fortress around the old town. You got this water here that goes around in a star-shaped form around the old town, and now they built bridges and stuff, obviously, so people can easily access it. But back in the day, in the good old days, there was no bridges except for the main bridge into the town, and then they could raise that to not let attackers get into the city. And then on the other side here, you have some old fortress that was used to defend against attacks from the water, I guess. Now, most of these are just purely for decoration these days. But there are some, I'm not sure where they exactly stand, but that they shoot, I think it's on New Year's Eve or something like that. They fire off some cannons. Then we have the post here. More cannons here. These might actually be the ones that they use to fire on the New Year's Eve. Obviously they don't have any cannonballs inside them when they do, but it makes a big boom. Because these looks a lot more, they look just straight up in better shape, I guess, than the other ones. I have no idea, to be fair, but they kind of look like they could be used, these ones. So people can sit out here, have a coffee, and they probably have some lunch options as well. So this week you can get lamb if you want. It's probably because of Easter. It's quite traditional here in Norway to eat lamb around the Easter, I believe. There's another gallery entrance here. A little city train for the tourists that wants to get a quick look around the city, I believe. And this building to the right here is actually one of the oldest weapon storages, I believe, of modern weapons. I remember last year there was a post right on the side here, and at least said something about this being a very, very old weapon storage house, or weapon storage building, I guess is the correct way to say it. These are obviously sealed, so they cannot be used. I do believe that most of these could be used if they're not, I think it's called plumbed or something. I guess they wouldn't bother to put this wood in here if it's not legit. Last year, me and my friends were actually sitting outside here and chilling, having a few cold ones in the summer. It's a bit too cold outside now, though, to do that. Boat probably docking up somewhere to be ready for the summer. And then on the other side here we have the new city, and then there's a post right here on this pole, a little beach that's probably never used. So we had to go a little bit away from, we have the wall to the city here, and this is like a little boat marina that we had to walk past, and there's a huge anchor here. It's pretty massive. Another post, and what we're basically doing is that we're just walking around the walls here and taking the posts on the outside, and then we're going to go inside. In the distance there, behind that parked car, you can actually see the city ferry, and you can see the bridge that you have to cross to get to this side of the city. And this ferry is actually free of charge for everybody to use. There's multiple of them, you can see them on the other side there. And so you can take this ferry from this side of the city to the other side, and it also goes to multiple other places. So some of them just crosses the water right here, and some of them go deeper into the city to the more popular restaurants and stuff in town. And the reason this ferry started to become free was because there was some maintenance on that big bridge you can see in the back. And so you can actually walk across that big bridge, but when they was doing bridge maintenance, I think for a few years, you would not be able to walk across. So for people walking or cycling, there was no way to get across there except to obviously swim. And the current in this water is really strong, so it's very dangerous to be swimming here. And there is multiple times through my lifetime that I heard of people drowning in this water, usually alcohol related, but still quite dangerous nonetheless. So I would say if you're a really strong swimmer and you start swimming from this area right here, you probably end up way down there before you cross. It's a very strong current. I'm not sure if you can see it on camera, but you can see these swirls around in the water. So, and I can see the post, and we probably have to go back into the old town here. Hello. So we're walking back into the old town now. A little tunnel to the wall. We have a post on the right hand side. We're gonna scan. And the way I planned on us going in, we're actually gonna walk out. You can see the bridge and stuff like that. On top of the wall, and we've pretty much been around the majority of the town here on the outside of the wall, but we're also going into the town itself, just not yet. I'm not exactly sure what this building is, but it's a really big building for being in a small town like this. Also some hot dogs, I believe, and I think one of these two buildings was actually used for recruiting into the army at some point. Because I remember when I was 18, I had to show up in, it was either that building right in front or it was this big one. So I think that's what they used it for at some point. We have a little post down there and some more cannons. And you can see the water around, and a nice little swan who's chilling. So this is the original bridge to get across. Now they have built a new one that's on this side, and it's more reliable for cars and all this kind of stuff, but the original bridge you would walk across here, and they can actually, and that still works because I've seen they do it multiple times, is that they can, the part that we're going to walk across now, can actually raise the bridge. So obviously back in the day, they would raise the bridge so they wouldn't let any attackers in. So it's quite a fortified fortress. And I do believe that the reason that this is so well protected with all the water around it and multiple bridges that they could raise and lower as they wanted is probably one of the reasons this is one of the most well preserved old towns in Europe, because all the buildings and stuff are still there, and we're going to show this in not so long, but there's actually multiple, this isn't just like a museum or anything, like it's an actual town and there's people living in here. I'm not sure how many, but Google probably knows. But it's a really cozy place, and on Sundays there's always a market where people can buy and sell used stuff. There's multiple stores, cafes, food store, everything you really need, pubs. So if they don't have it, you don't want it, I guess. We're not done exactly with all the posts on the wall, but we are going into the city to look at some cafes. And it's not really that good weather today either, but you can see that there's a lot of people here. And I know on the right side, I used to talk with an English friend of mine who he thought that I was lying. So if he watches this video, I'm going to show it on camera. But this is an old phone booth, and now it's a library. It's a mini library. So here it says, take a book leave a book. So this is entirely based on trust, and I could just grab Mary Higgins Clark, for example, this book, and then I could leave another book, and it's completely free. And from what my friend told me is that if this would be, for example, in England, it would just be sprayed down with spray paint, and people would shit inside it and destroy the entire thing and steal everything inside. So, I don't know, maybe it's a Norwegian phenomenon. So we're gonna go look for some more posts. No idea how long this dentist has been here, but they even have a dentist here. And this is the Old Town Electrician. This is a clothing store. Looks a bit retro to me, but yeah, this is maybe a used store, my girlfriend tells me, so people have used some stuff. And this is Majorens. This has been here for, I have no idea how long, but as long as I've been alive, at least. And it's a restaurant. And here is a clothing store. And then this is a cafeteria. And there's another cafeteria slash baker right here. And then we have a post on this little seating area in the middle. There's multiple stores and stuff around. There's a nice retro looking car coming down the street. I'm gonna scan this post. And it's a nice little cozy area for people to sit. And this store to the left here, you can probably buy materials to make sweaters and whatnot. This is a little gallery. And here there is also a pub inside, if I remember correct. So, Stolpe. There's an alley post. It says Mimi on it. I used to call one of my grandmothers for Mimi. And here is another gallery. And there's quite a lot of galleries in this little old town. Now this is a statue of the founder of the city. In the middle of the area here. I do believe that's another cafeteria of some sort or a restaurant. And inside this little town there is actually every year there's a festival here. And there's filled up with people. And here we have another post. And here we have the Old Town Church. Quite well preserved. Looks really good. They're doing some restorations around in this area. And then we have the post right next to the church here. We are scanning the post. We got some more cannons. And we only have 1, 2, 3 left. So it's 25 posts in this old city this year. I think last year it was 20. So we don't have the greatest weather today, but you keep warm just by walking around, so it's completely fine. So this old tunnel is actually so short that I've almost hit my head. But the roof is a little bit low, but I'm also quite tall, so. And here we have a post next to the trash bin. Now I do believe there's one on that bridge that you can see in the distance. And there's one more on top of the wall where the cannons are. And here is the second to last post. And Luna is getting tired. We were just discussing that we think it's been 4 or 5 or 6 kilometers to walk today. Not that bad. So the last post is on the other side here. Not really much more to film. I think we got a lot of good footage today. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you for watching. And leave a comment, subscribe, like the video if you like it. And hopefully I will have some more cool videos coming out soon. We have a lot of good plans for this summer.